a more so than politely splashed UC baseball stadium after a lengthy rain delay. We are ready to go here between the Cincinnati Bearcats and the Oklahoma State Cowboys as the Cowboys come into the Queen City for the first time ever. Alongside Casey Stevens, I'm Ethan Herzog. And Casey, this has the chance to be one of the better series Cincinnati hosts here at UC Baseball Stadium. An Oklahoma State team that was projected to be the first place team, in the Big 12 coming into the season. A little bit lackluster production coming up to today, but still, nonetheless, you can't argue with the accolades that Oklahoma State has.
Like you and I talked off air earlier, team that is known for accolades, national championship under their belt as a team completely, 30-plus national championships throughout their entire team overall. And this Oklahoma State is something to look at too. You mentioned at the beginning of the season, coming in, preseason rankings had them at 23rd, 25 throughout the first 2 months. Cincinnati up there as well as one of the top teams in the entire nation. Both of these teams coming from the Big 12 will fight off tonight. Cincinnati at home, a strong team. They've only lost 4 games throughout the entire season, while on the road for the Oklahoma State Cowboys have struggled on the road, only winning 6 throughout their season.
Oklahoma State, led by 13-year head coach Josh Holliday, began and has been the skipper for a long, long time, has seen plenty of success for Oklahoma State, a former Toronto Blue Jay. He played in their organization for a few years from 1999 to 2000 and is a former Oklahoma State Cowboy himself, graduating in 1999. On the other side, it's head coach Jordan Bischel, who also needs no introduction. Handful of NCAA regionals with Central Michigan, and this is a coaching matchup that has the chance to also, like I've said before, be extraordinary coming up.
Both coaches going head-to-head tonight. Jordan Bischel, strong start last season where Cincinnati finished mid-table in the Big 12. This season, slow start, coming off of a 5-game losing streak that they broke on Wednesday against Milwaukee that went into 8 innings. Cincinnati able to put on their 10-run rule. And Oklahoma State dropping a game, winning a game throughout the season, about 500, 18 and 19. On the road, looking to stay at that 500 mark, are going to rely heavily, most likely, on their top of the order, where we're going to see constant hitters come into the batter's box and go up against the strong pitching that Cincinnati continues to have. But we continue to see constant changes in the bullpen for Cincinnati this season.
And you mentioned the top 4 in the Oklahoma State batting lineup, and we will take a look at both lineups, starting with the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Batting leadoff and playing in left field, number 14, Alex Conover. Batting second at second base is number 4, Braden Smith. Batting third in right field is number 10, Nolan Schubart. Batting cleanup in center field is number 13, Colin Ritchie. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 12, Colin Brueggemann. Batting sixth, the designated hitter for tonight's contest, number 23, Jason Jones. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 8, Ian Daughtry. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 1, Brock Thompson. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 6, Drew Culbertson. And on the mound for Oklahoma State, Harrison Bodendorf with a record of 7-1 this season. Now looking for the home lineup for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Batting first in right field, number 14, Landon Vitterick. Batting second, the third baseman, number 2, Carrington Cross. Batting third, the catcher, number 7, Jack Natilli. Batting cleanup in left field is number 21, Cal Sefcik. Batting fifth, the freshman and first baseman, number 25, Quentin Coates. Batting as the designated hitter in the 6th spot is number 5, Dawson Hookuff. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 8, Loudon Brooks. Loudon Brooks is 7th. Batting 8th is the shortstop, number 19, Charlie Niehaus. And batting ninth in the center fielder for tonight is number 42, Derek Pitts, replacing Donovan Ford. And on the mound for Cincinnati is number 11, Nathan Taylor, with a record of 4-1 on the year and 52.2 innings pitched. And what a pitcher Nathan Taylor is. Had an all-star season last year as a freshman, is stepping into his role in his second season very well.
He's done fantastic. A 2.73 ERA on the season throughout 52 innings pitched. Has allowed 47 hits, but he's a consistent pitcher when he comes up to face a batter. 56 strikeouts throughout the entire season. And on the flip side, you can't count out Harrison Benford. 7-1 record when he appears in those 10 games, has started 10, 3.2 ERA, and he will also strike out any batter that he faces.
Could very well be in for a pitching duel tonight's contest. The Cincinnati Bearcats look to get back on track, in terms of conference play. They just were swept by West Virginia in Morgantown on a 3-game series that was capped off on Saturday. As Easter Sunday was that Sunday that it would have been for a normal 3-game series, but obviously can't really do much on Easter Sunday, spend time with family and all that sort of fun things. Oklahoma State recently took 2 from Houston and then beat Dallas Baptist in the midweek. Cincinnati in the midweek fell to Xavier and bounced back in dramatic fashion, a 14-4 win in 8 innings. 10-run rule was in effect, and I was working that game for ESPN, and I was very, very happy that I got to go home and go to bed at a reasonable hour as that game was progressing. However, it's time to get things started and kick off the weekend with some amazing baseballs. The Bearcats and the Cowboys on Bearcat Sports Radio. Casey Stevens, Ethan Herzog here with you. Happy you could join us for tonight's action. So the Bearcats, we're about midway through the season. They're making that push towards the NCAA, trying to weasel their way into a regional. What is it going to take for the Bearcats to find their way into it?
I think it's going to have to take the offense. They start off slow every single game throughout their season. We see them maybe drop a few runs on defense with pitching, and then they pick it up between the 3rd and 4th innings. That's where Cincinnati scores most of their runs. The 4th inning, dramatic change compared to every single inning that Cincinnati has scored. I believe it's up close to about 20 runs throughout the year have come just from the 4th inning in Cincinnati baseball, and they need to keep that going with the pitching of Nathan Taylor tonight. 4-1 record. Good starting sophomore pitcher, a right-hander, and anytime he gets that right matchup and he gets a roll, it's hard to make him stop. You have to get him off his groove somehow. But the pickoffs, too. He likes to throw over to first consistently. I believe it was the ASU series when he was the starting pitcher. He had a few players just in his head. He kept going over to first. It may have been 3, 4, 5 times where he kept trying to pick him off. And if you consistently do that to a pitcher, it's going to throw off their groove and make them mess up.
And now turn to Oklahoma State. They're 10th in the Big 12. The top 12 teams in the conference make the conference tournament at the end of May. What do they have to do to get themselves back on the right track and kick things into high gear?
They need to find their groove. 18-19 is not where you want to be, especially when the season's coming to an end shortly. You have to win games that are important, especially on the road. And here against Cincinnati, 3-game series, you need to at least win 2 of these games to find your groove going into more of your road and your home games. The road is where it's going to come. You have the fan base that can come together and get into your head. Coaching will also be in play as well. Both of these coaches for Cincinnati and Oklahoma State will be in effect tonight as well. And overall, Ethan, this is going to be a game we mentioned to look at. One of the top teams coming one of the top teams that were voted to finish at the top of the Big 12 in Oklahoma State, and a team that finished somewhere in the mid-table last year and has had a slow start. Both teams are looking to pretty much see which one will not get wrangled by the Cowboys tonight.
Nathan Taylor steps on to the mound and welcomes Alex Conover to the plate. That's .339, the lefty. Steps into, I would assume, is a moderately damp turf here at UC Baseball Stadium. First pitch on the way, just outside, dots the right side, the empty area, and we got ball 1 to begin here. Second pitch on the way, and it dots straight down the middle for strike 1. Evens the count to 1-1. Nathan Taylor, look at his pitching repertoire. Fastball around 90 to 95, tops out at about 96. Third pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2, count moves to 1-2, and primarily uses the slider if not, but changeup, he's got that in his back pocket. Doesn't use it much, but when he does, it's very dangerous.
And at this at-bat, we've seen slider twice as a swing and a miss, and strike 3 is called. Drop third strike. Cincinnati gets the first out. But Taylor Heavily relies on that slider, that changeup. We saw him throw it there, drop third strike to get the first out for Cincinnati, and that fastball can top at 96 if he needs to get it there.
A dangerous pitcher, was named to the Big 12 All-Freshman team last year and was a preseason All-Big 12 member as well. Up comes Braden Smith, the second baseman, bats left. .312 on the season. Winds and deals, finds a strike zone, 0-1.
Good fastball for Taylor, showing the speed, 95 mile an hour at the top of the box. If he can come out with a slider that he's most known for.
That one low in the zone, called strike 2. Nathan Taylor, 57 strikes after that most recent one. Looking for 58. Up is right around 6.7 per game. That one down low, first ball, the count 1-2.
And Cincinnati has dealt with some injuries as well. Donovan Ford not out there tonight with a transfer from Central Michigan. Normally plays that center field position. And Coach Jordan Bishel consistently says he's small for his size, but he's a speedy and athletic guy.
On the way, outside ball 2. Donovan Ford went out of the game against Xavier on Tuesday. Didn't start against Milwaukee, but I would assume that he tweaked something while he was playing in that game against Xavier and possibly aggravated against West Virginia. Strike 3 called after a pitch right down the middle. And that's 2 strikeouts back-to-back for Nate Taylor.
Good start for the Bearcats. Uncharacteristic for the top of the order for Oklahoma State, where they consistently can get on base relying on their first 3 guys. And now it's up to Nolan Sherbert, the junior out of DeBard, Michigan.
And this is a dangerous guy to look at, too. The team's leader in home runs and RBIs, bats .313. The longest home run in Division I at 519 feet. First pitch on the way, outside the zone for ball 1. It's a strong hitter, and a very scary hitter at that to face up against. I don't care who is pitching to you. Originally committed to Michigan, was going to be Wolverine, but a coaching change sent him to Oklahoma State. That one dots the inside of the zone for strike 1. 1-1 goes to count, 2 outs, nobody on.
Taylor coming out strong with the 95, dropping it to an 86 slider, top of the zone. 1-1 count.
Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Schubert a little too early. Count goes 1-2, top of the first inning. Even at nothing apiece. On deck is Ritchie. Should the inning continue? Swing and a miss. Strike 3. What a start for Cincinnati. 1, 2, 3. They go down in order, and Nathan Taylor is out for blood. Here against Oklahoma State. We'll be back with the bottom of the first inning right here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Welcome back to UC Baseball Stadium. It's all tied up at 0 between the Bearcats and the Cowboys. Bottom of the first inning. Casey Stevens, Ethan Herzog here with you. On the mound for Oklahoma State, Harrison Bodendorf had 10 innings pitched against Arizona. It's a season high, same for his career high as well. Lefty throwing .320 of an ERA, 110 of a WHIP, and throws .339 to the leadoff man. But he is 7-1 on the year with 56 in the third innings pitched, 42 hits, 23 runs, 20 of them earned with 20 walks, 70 strikeouts, and 5 home runs allowed. And coming up to the plate, Landon Viderick, he is no stranger to causing some damage, especially very, very early in ball games. Has been in the leadoff spot for a couple of games now, taking it from Carrington Cross, but Carrington Cross the 2 isn't the worst thing for UC. His first pitch outside, way wide on a slider for ball 1. Viderick digs back in. Bodendorf kicks, fires, swung on and driven into the gap. That'll be a base hit for Landon Viderick. And a leadoff single brings up Carrington Cross.
Good start for the Bearcats. Strong on defense in the top of the first, and now a great active shot for Viderick as he shoots it into between the gap of first and second to get the Bearcats on base. And this is where you continue to build on that momentum. If you're Cincinnati, you're known for slow starts, but if you start out hot and you build on your defense later in the game, you're going to put the Cowboys in a hole that they can't get out of.
Now brings up Carrington Cross, third baseman. Bats right, throws right. Pick off a 10th to first. Can't get Viderick before he scampers back to the bag. Cross batting just below 400. I mean, video game numbers I don't think really describes how good Carrington Cross is playing. Bodendorf fires it home outside the zone for ball 1. But you look at his stats, .399 is his average, .533 OBP, .667 slugging as an on-base percentage, as an OPS, over 1 with a 1.200. Kicks, fires to home, and outside ball 2, same spot. But generational player in Carrington Cross.
And it's interesting, his batting stance is not uniform to what you consistently see. He holds that bat up higher and uses more of what you would consider your elbows to hold it up instead of more of resting it on your back shoulder. And when he goes into his swing, it's more fluid than what you see from other players on Cincinnati. It's just the stance that is very odd and uncharacteristic.
Pitch comes home, dots the zone for strike 1. I mentioned it before how he holds it up and there's a slight amount of wiggle in the bat, but it's a very interesting. The observation of the elbow is really what's key to it. And I've seen the evolution of Carrington Cross's swing, and it's completely different than it was 3 years ago. Pick off the first, not in time. Still can't catch Viderick. Team leader in stolen bases with 27. Second in the Big 12 in the category as well. It's only been caught 1 time. Pick-off attempt once again, and Bodendorf's done his homework. He's not letting Viderick go anywhere.
And you can't let any of the base runners for Cincinnati go anywhere. One of the top teams in stolen bases in Division I baseball as well. And without Donovan Ford, he's one of their fastest players. Their numbers have just slid down slightly.
Pitch goes home, swing and a miss, strike 2. Evens the count at 2, nobody out. Carrington Cross has Landon Viderick at first base. Cross with runners on, bats .362. I feel like clutch hitter is an understatement, especially bottom of the first inning. Pickoff attempt once again to first base. Still can't get him.
Fourth time that we've seen Beneford go over to first with Viderick over there.
Bodenford cannot get Viderick out of his head as Carrington Cross fouls that one off into the safety netting. Still 2-2.
I love some good long at-bats.
But do you love long at-bats when half the throws are pickoffs to first base?
Yeah, that's the one downside. But if you're Carrington Cross and you're up there for a long time, you're forcing the wear and tear on the pitcher already.
Pickoff attempt once again to first base. And now I'm going to ask you the age-old question of, do you think that college ball should integrate the only 2 detachments per at-bat that the MLB has?
I definitely think they should. There's been games that
Pitch on the way, outside, ball 3, runs the count full. Carrington Cross held up his swing. It's a good look, smart play by Cross as well. Didn't go all the way around. Didn't mean to cut off your thought. I do want to hear your answer to the question. Pickoff attempt not in time. Here we go. Here's the setup.
This is where it needs. This is the 6th time at this at bat for Carrington Cross where Beneford has consistently gone over to first. And if this was MLB, 2 at most is what you get. And I think that needs to be implemented.
On the way, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cross went a little bit too early. That's out number 1. Brings up Jack Detilly. But I do agree. I think if you're going to speed up the game at the major league level, you got to speed it up at the college level as well. You got to get the guys used to how they're going to be at the majors, because obviously you have the way of going through the ranks and going from, single A up to, all the way up to triple and then to the majors. But why start then when you could start in college? Pickoff attempt to first, not in time once again to pick up where we left off with Viderick. He's still there, if you were wondering. He's still at first base.
No leeway given at all.
That's maybe a step and a half of a lead off the bag. Makes a jump. Pitch home on Jack Detilly, the first pitch of the at-bat. Thrown his direction. It goes ball 1. Jack Detilly bats .307 on the year, .438 OBP. About 5 homers on the year. Starting catcher missed a couple of games after being domed by a hit by a pitch against Arizona State. Second pitch on the way goes high for ball 2. Since then, he has recovered. He's all right.
You and I were at that game.
We were. That was the game that we were calling. I'm glad that he's okay. He came back in for a brief spell and then was taken back out. I assume concussion protocol had something to do with that. Nonetheless, a scary sight. Glad to see he's okay. The 2-0. Swung on and driven and caught by the shortstop. A diving leap. Throwback to the bag is in time. Catches Natilli on the line, and throwback for Viderick gets the 3rd and final out at the bottom of the 1st inning. When we come back, top of the 2nd, and Casey Stevens takes over the reins here on Bearcat Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the University of Cincinnati, home of the Cincinnati Bearcats. Oklahoma State's visiting the Bearcats here in the top of the second inning. Score 0-0 as Nathan Taylor delivers first. His pitch is called high ball, 83 miles an hour. Ethan, Oklahoma State ended the bottom of the first inning with an amazing diving catch from Bra Smith for the out, and then throwing it over to the first to get Landon Vitterick with that double play.
I mean, that was just a heads-up athletic play from Smith. Was it really able? I mean, the layout was insane. Pitch on the way just outside the zone for ball 2. Count moves to 2-1. After dotting the strike zone right down Broadway.
Colin Ritchie, the sophomore, awaits the second pitch. 2-1 count now to Ritchie. 3-1 count on the season, hitting .253. On base percentage up there as well. Taylor delivers. Strike 2 is called. Full count now to Ritchie. Stands out to hold that center field position on defense for the Cowboys. Ritchie now with a full 2 count, waits for Taylor. Winds and dines, cuts on it. This one goes straight to the dugout of the Cowboys. You have to have fast reflexes if you're a baseball player.
See, here's a fun story for you. Back in my youngin' days, maybe 3 years ago, we'll say youngin' days, I used to work those cameras down in the camera wells, and I mean, you got to be able to duck out of the way. I've almost been hit about 4 different times in a season, might I say.
Taylor delivers. Strike 3 is called as Ritchie's walking back. First out's on the board. Another strikeout added to the total for Taylor as he went 1-2-3 in the top of the first, and he gets another added to that count here in the top of the second.
It's the 4th strikeout for Nate Taylor today, and I mean, this guy cooks with a blowtorch, really. You look at his pitching repertoire, he is a dangerous man with a high velocity, is able to dot the strike zone. As that one swung on and hit into the gap, it'll be a base hit. Ends a no-hitter bid in the top of the second inning, but reaching on base is Brueggemann, the first baseman.
Brueggemann, the senior, out of Smithston, Illinois.
Think he's got any connection to Brugger's Bagels?
He might actually.
I'd like that.
Don't think I've ever had a Brugger's
really?
bagel.
What? How?
Couldn't tell you what it is.
I gotta take it sometime. You're from here, right? You're from Cincinnati?
Indiana.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just a Cincinnati thing, though. It's got to be a national chain.
They have Einstein.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah. Jason Jones, the junior, checks in. First pitch outside ball, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-0 count with 1 out on the board, with Brueggemann reaching first on a shot between third and second.
Here's the dangerous thing about Nate Taylor is that once you get to your pitches right down the middle of the zone, especially with the fastballs, you're a couple of men through the lineup, they're going to go back in the dugout and say, hey, this is what he does every XYZ pitch. Watch out for it. And that can be the downfall of Nate Taylor, but usually he's able to sneak his way through.
As outside ball is called, 2-1 count with 1 out on the board. In the middle of the rotation here, 6-hole hitter for Jones. On the season, hitting .239. 2-1 count with 1 out on the board. Taylor delivers, high ball, 3-1 with Brueggemann on first.
We talked about it before. Nate Taylor, he has this problem that once runners get on base, it kind of gets into his head, and a lot of times he's able to work his way out of it, but you can see here, 3-1 count. He's way behind in this count, and he's got Brueggemann over on first base. He can't really see him, so he's relying on Jack Natilli to make the call just in case, but still has that runner in the back of his mind.
As a right-handed pitcher, back away from first. This one delivers 94-mile-an-hour foul tip off of Jones. Full count with 1 out on the board. And you do have to wait for that call from Coates over at first for the Bearcats with your back turned. And for Taylor, you can't try and pick him off either. You give an extra chance of just making it happen as high ball is called 4 in a row. As Cincinnati Nathan Taylor putting up 4 strikeouts is allowed a hit and now a walk. Coming up is Ian Daugherty, the senior out of Kingfisher, Oklahoma.
Now 2 runners on, 1 out for Nate Taylor. This, hopefully, with the way that Cincinnati progresses, and now Taylor has a better way of trying to get the pick back to second base. Currently nobody covering. Loudon Brooks takes a couple steps in, though.
First pitch on the edge of the zone called strike.
So we'll dot that one on the slider.
Runners on second and first for the Cowboys as they look to get the first punch thrown. Shot off Daugherty's back, foul. 0-2 now. Count for Taylor. 1 out on the board. Top of the second inning.
Cool thing about Ian Daugherty is that his dad was drafted by the Mets out of high school, and that was in 1995. He's got a lot of experience, and I mean, he's got a pops who knows a thing or two about the game.
Strike 3 is called. Another strikeout added for Taylor. Now 5 on the day. 2 outs on the board. Cincinnati defense is looking strong, not allowing much to happen. Taylor with only allowing 1 single off of the shot from Bergman between third and short, and then a walk from Jones.
Still getting over the fact that you've never had Brugger's Bagels.
Brock Thompson steps in, the freshman out of California.
And
You don't see that. You don't see that very often.
You do not. You typically don't see those from California.
Taylor delivers. Strike 1 is called with 1-1 count.
But I do want to mention the fact that there's a lot of freshmen on this team. There's a lot of freshmen in the starting rotation as well for Oklahoma State. You see them time and time again, especially when it comes up to the bump. A lot of young players that do a lot of good work.
Check swing, called strike. 1-2 count now. And with freshmen, you want to give them that experience as well into the games. And this is where your season hasn't gone where you're projected to be, and you can throw some of your younger guys in there, build up that confidence. As Taylor delivers, strike 3 is called. Drop third strike. Utility over to Coates, and that's another 3-strikeout inning for Taylor. 6 strikeouts on the day here in Cincinnati Baseball Stadium. Casey Stevens with Ethan Hertog. Stay tuned to Bearcat Sports Radio as we'll be back for the bottom of the second inning. Welcome back to the University of Cincinnati, home of the Cincinnati Bearcats here in the bottom of the second inning. KC Stevens with Ethan Herzog. Ethan, as your dance moves come to a close, bottom of the second inning, Cincinnati only with a single off of the hit of Vitterick as Cal Sefik steps into the box. What does Cincinnati need to do here to awake what has been missing all season, those early inning runs?
Exactly what they've been doing. They started out with great contact from Landon Vitterick right up the gap. And I think Cal Sefcik can really do some damage here, too. He's been on a bit of a hot streak as well. He, I believe, is on a 7-game on-base streak. This would be his ace should he reach right now. But a lot of hot hitters, and if they just keep doing what they're doing, have great vision, pitch on the way right down the middle, strike 2 on a 0-2 count. Look at things going. Just got to be patient, take their time, and it helps, too. But defensively, Nate Taylor has stepped up, and he's thrown 6 strikeouts already in the game.
Cal Sefcik, the sophomore, awaits it, shoots it high into right field as the Cowboys right fielder, Schubert, tracks under it. 1 out on the board. Almost reached base there to continue his hot streak, but Cal Sefcik able to make contact, getting the head of Beneford, who on the day shut out the Cincinnati Bearcats, only allowing 1 hit to Landon Vitterick. Up now, the first baseman, the freshman, out of Olathe, Kansas, Quentin Coates.
Now this guy, he's dangerous.
First pitch, low and away in the bottom of the zone for strike 1. 1 out on the board for the Bearcats.
Quentin Coates, he's a freshman with great vision and great power as well behind the bat. Going to do dividends for this team.
40 at-bats on the season as pitch 2 is outside ball. Hitting .350 with 14 hits. Tommy O'Connor not in, and this is where if you're coach, you step up, and he's done so far very well in this new role.
Tommy O'Connor, I think he is needing that kind of break. He needs to take a couple games, find his rhythm back, and then maybe he'll find a way to get the bat producing again.
Quentin Coates, foul tip, back up towards us. 1-2 count with 1 out on the board. Coates now steps out of the batter box, regain his momentum, steps in, goes with that right foot planted on the white chalk near the catcher. Waits it, shoots it over to the third baseman as he drops it. Coates has a chance to reach first, throws in time. 2nd out on the board for the Cowboys as Coates was not able to put much on the burners.
Thompson just bobbled it almost just enough to kind of deceive everybody at the ballpark. He had his hand on it, and he was able to pick it up, get a nice grip, and toss it over, and it was maybe by a centimeter that Coates got beat out on the throw.
And with rain coming down earlier and 2 rain delays, it may still be slippery out there on the Bearcats, the redshirt senior out of Edmond, Oklahoma.
Supposedly there's more rain coming. Hopefully that is it's not true. Hopefully it's not true.
Is that going to be an announcer's jinx?
I hope not. I'm a little notorious for those, unfortunately.
There's a 1-2 count, 2 outs on the board here in the bottom of the 2nd. Dawson Hookah on the season hits .271 with 19 hits and 70 at-bats. The left-hander awaits. Outside ball is called. 2-1, 2 outs on the board.
Way outside, and the slider really wanted him to chase that.
Beneford. The left-hander delivers. Swing and a miss by Bearcats. 2-2 count with 2 outs on the board. Hokoff. Hokoff steps back into the box. Widens his stance. Waits for it. Outside ball is called. 3-2 count. Red shirt senior steps back out. Takes his time with 2 outs on the board. Full count. Awaits the pitch. Delivers. Swings this one high up into left field. Under it is Conver, and that's the 3rd out for the Cowboys. Neither team able to break the brick wall that they have put up with 2 rain delays. Cincinnati Bearcats will come back with Nathan Taylor's strong start. Stay tuned here to Bearcat Sports Radio as we will be back with the top of the 3rd inning.
Top of the third inning here at UC Baseball Stadium. Ethan Herzog, Casey Stevens with you. It is Pete Rose night here at the ballpark, honoring the Cincinnati Reds outfielder, celebrating his 4,256 hits, 160 home runs, 303 batting average in his career. Passed away earlier this year, a baseball legend and a Cincinnati staple. Honoring him tonight. Pitch on the way from Nathan Taylor is high for ball one. Marty Brenneman threw out the first pitch, and he'll be talking with ESPN Plus here momentarily, as far as I'm aware. Second pitch on the way, and dots the strike zone, makes it a 1-1 count. Marty Brenneman, legendary career for the sports broadcaster, National Radio Hall of Fame. On the way, pitch number 3 outside, ball 2. Cincinnati Reds broadcaster from 1974 to 2009. Met the guy, 2 hours ago. Pitch number 4, dots the zone, strike 2. Against Drew Culbertson, the sophomore infielder from Greenwood, Indiana. Right around your hometown, Casey.
It is. He played against Adam Buchkowski from Carmel, Indiana, who's on Cincinnati Bearcats.
That one lined into right field. Landon Vitterick's got a beat, makes the catch for out number 1. Carmel, Indiana, huh?
37 national championship consecutive for the swim team.
Now you were talking with me about this earlier. You're part of some historic national championship run for high school swimming. I'm kidding. That's actually really impressive. I could never have done anything like that. I just a high school kid that won awards for theater. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 called to Alex Conover. As we have returned to the top of the lineup for Oklahoma State.
I really want to know what awards you won for theater.
Best song, I believe. That one right down the middle for strike 2. I was a part of the Roger Bacon 2019 production of Godspell. I was the pit drummer. Fantastic show. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down goes Conover on strikes. We're 2 down here in the top of the third inning, still tied at 0.
7 strikeouts for Nathan Taylor on today's game. He's had a performance that he's going to remember for a long time. This is where Cincinnati needs to continue to keep it up throughout their season, too. Big 12 play at home, one of the strongest teams, 14-4. On the road for the Cowboys, have struggled, only 6 wins anytime they go on the road.
Taylor outside for ball 1. Cincinnati has found their way to be, like you said, one of the more dominant teams at home, 14-4, 2-9 is Oklahoma State on the road. That one swung right back up the middle. Derek Pitts on his way, makes the catch for out number 3, and a 1-2-3, top of the third. We'll be back with the bottom of the third with the rain starting to lightly trickle down here in Cincinnati on Bearcat Sports Radio. Bottom of the third inning here in Cincinnati. The rain has turned from a light sprinkle to a moderate torrential downpour as it's tied up between the Cowboys and the Bearcats here in the bottom of the third inning. Casey Stevens alongside Ethan Herzog, and Aiden Riggs has come over with a pretzel. He doesn't have a headset, but he does have a pretzel, and I really want to steal it. But It's been fantastic pitching on both sides. I don't know if it's really anything to do with the rain up until this point. So I believe we might be having a discussion here on the field. Looks like home plate umpire heading back into the review room. David Condon might be making a decision here on whether or not to postpone the game for a slight duration of time. About 25 minutes of rain is what's stated by the weather app provided by Casey Stevens. But we shall see. The rain possibly starting to lighten up a little bit, but Oklahoma State has been sent back to the dugout. We will be waiting as the fans have now congregated on the concourse right behind us, so we're packed tightly in here like sardines, and we're back into another rain delay.
This is great. I am happy that while we have had some rain delays, we've gotten through 2.5 innings of baseball.
2.5 innings so far, yeah. But it's been a fantastic start for Nathan Taylor nonetheless. We'll talk Cincinnati here for a moment. Nathan Taylor, he's got 7 strikeouts on the day so far. His season high is 11. That's the same as his career high. But should the game progress, and it will eventually, is the rain delay now in effect for, I assume, the next 20 or so minutes as we head back into our respective dugouts. But 7 strikeouts, you go down to Great American Ballpark, you're about 2/3 of the way to getting free pizza the next day.
With 7 strikeouts, what more can you ask for?
You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? You've never been to Great American Ballpark.
I have. I was
have
actually
you?
just there.
You were? What game? What game?
What was a few weeks ago? I have a photo.
You have a
I
photo?
wish I could tell you.
Oh, that's right.
I was there.
What team? What team were you watching?
The Reds.
And what other team?
The Pirates. There we go.
Oh, this was
Yes.
earlier.
Yeah. This was like a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I was there recently for the Reds and the Mariners, and I'll be there on Monday for the Reds and the Cardinals.
For any specific reason?
Just to go, because I'm a sports fan.
I mean,
No specific reason. Go have a cold one at the ballpark, have a good time.
now what about Paycor Stadium?
What about it?
How about those Cincinnati Bengals?
You
Draft?
really want to talk about the draft,
I
don't
do,
you?
yeah.
Okay, fine. We can. I'll oblige. We can talk about the draft. Fine. Casey is rapidly pulling out his phone
Well,
to talk
here's
about
The
something.
The Cleveland Browns just drafted
Ew, don't talk to me
Ohio
about the Cleveland
State
Browns.
native.
True.
Excuse me. Quinshon Judkins just went to the Cleveland Browns.
I don't like Ohio State or Cleveland, so there's that.
With what reason? Why not?
Because I don't like Ohio State and I don't like Cleveland. Because I'm from Cincinnati. Hello.
Well, there's that. Will Johnson.
This guy's hating me right now.
I am. I'm very surprised that Shadur Sanders is still an available player.
I am not surprised because I do not think Shadur Sanders is a good player. I think he will be one of the biggest busts in NFL history, same with Travis Hunter.
Do you think that Jackson Dart is a much better player
Yes.
than Cam Ward?
No. I did not know where I was going with that. No, I do not. For the record.
For what reason? I think here let me explain this. Ready? Cam Ward, ACC, right?
Okay.
That competition. You have Clemson. Duke was okay.
Still, here's my rebuttal is that I don't think it matters the conference if you can put up those numbers no matter what. I mean, you look at Ashton Genty. He put up insane numbers in the Mountain West, and people were dismissing that because it's the Mountain West. That's a ridiculous argument to make. Is conference by conference, oh, it wasn't as strong, blah, 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 whatever you want to say about it. But you put up over 2,000 rushing yards. You're maybe a few yards away from breaking Barry Sanders' record. I don't care what conference you're in. It's still insane. Same with Cam Ward. You can put up those numbers in any conference. I'm going to pick you high in the draft.
I don't think there's a generational player in this draft.
I don't either.
I think it's one of the weaker drafts.
Actually, I would argue Ashton Genty. I would argue him.
I could see.
Like, the argument is there,
Yeah.
but I still don't really believe that there is a real generational player. As we are sitting in a rain delay here, bottom of the third inning between Cincinnati and Oklahoma State is tied at 0-0. Nobody's come up to bat. We stopped play right before the first batter would have come up to the plate, which would have been Loudon Brooks, who is batting .235 this season, a little slow today. It's Aiden Riggs now back intruding on our space. Would you like to say something, Mr. Riggs, Mr. Sports Director?
I'm very curious on where Stur Sanders is going to go soon. He's still on the board. Be very interested where he goes. I'm disappointed that Cleveland didn't take the shot. It would have been hysterical to see him be a Brown. But Steelers are coming up soon, so we'll see.
I think it would have been hysterical for Justin Diedrich to have to deal with Stur Sanders. He's a Cleveland Browns fan. So's Christian Pagan.
I've heard some rumors Tyler Shuck might go before him, which is very interesting. The Louisville Cardinal could be off the board before the Colorado Buffalo.
I can see it.
What about Will Howard?
At Ohio State?
Oh, yeah. I
No.
think
No.
Riley Leonard, Will Howard,
I think if you're drafting anybody from Ohio State, it's wide receivers
offensive tackles.
or defensive line, or offensive tackles or defensive linemen.
I think they are known for their wide receivers, for sure.
They are WRU. That's such a weird thing to say. But, wide receiver U,
Yeah.
Continue.
Right. Defensive line.
Yep.
Obviously. Linebackers.
When was the last good Ohio State quarterback that came out of?
C.J. Stroud.
Okay, fair point.
Joe Burrow.
Aiden Riggs is claiming Joe Burrow's an Ohio State Buckeye. I believe he is an LSU Tiger.
He is.
Go Tigers.
I'm not one of those people.
I think you're wrong.
No, I mean, I'm not one of the people that claim him.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
No.
I'm not one of those Ohio State fans.
You're not one of those guys. Or whatever. You're not Chris. Oh, jeez.
Chase Yance.
Oh, yeah, Chase Johnson's a big Ohio State guy.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, whenever Michigan beats Ohio State, which it happens fairly often now, I like to make fun of them. Go blue. Go blue, baby. That's my
That's your go-to?
Yeah. Well, it's more of a I don't like Ohio State, so I root for Michigan kind of thing.
This guy is that I whenever I saw his tweets, whenever Michigan and Ohio State would play each other, I thought he was a Michigan fan. He just hates Ohio State that much. I fully thought he just was a Michigan fan.
Okay, here's the thing.
Just putting that out there.
My grandpa did go to Michigan, so
Okay.
I do have familial ties. Sorry, the Bearcat is behind us. He's doing things. But my grandfather did go to Michigan.
Sure.
He graduated from there.
Okay.
He actually did student radio up in Michigan, which I did not know until earlier this year.
Okay.
He just didn't tell me, and I was like, oh, well, that's cool. I do that professionally now, so that's really cool. And my aunt has been a Michigan fan for a long time because of him. My dad went to Cincinnati State and is an Ohio State fan. Like much of the fan base that Ohio State has, they didn't actually go there. But I also don't believe in the whole you should be the fan of the school you graduated from. I think that's a ridiculous take. And I think you should be a fan of whatever team you like. I'm an Auburn fan. I know. That's what Aiden said.
So let me share this. Ready? My dad went to Ohio State.
Okay.
I'm an Ohio State fan, right?
That makes sense.
My
okay.
sister went to Alabama.
What in the world?
So I'm also an Alabama fan.
You?
Right? Now, my great-grandpa actually went to Oklahoma State, started their agriculture entire what is that, agriculture school?
Yeah.
So I actually have connections to Oklahoma State.
Wow.
As well.
How about that?
Right?
He's
Learn
part of a
something new.
37-time national championship swimming team, and his great-grandfather started the Oklahoma State Agricultural School.
I also
What
have
didn't this guy do?
Some radio awards back at Cardinal High School.
Oh, there you go. I didn't win a single thing because my school didn't really care.
We have a standoff going on here that I believe you guys need to commentate on between the two squads.
Oh, I just noticed this. There are about, what is this now, 7 Oklahoma State. Oh, nope, here comes more. The entire, there's about, 15 Bearcats standing out in front of their dugout and about 10 or so Oklahoma State players standing out in front of theirs. Standoff for the ages. Somebody play the good and the bad and the ugly. Oklahoma State just took a step forward. Cincinnati takes one step towards the third baseline.
Let's see how
now
far
there's
they
2
can
rows of Oklahoma State Cowboys. They all come up in formation. Cincinnati starts walking out. They're about to cross the third baseline. Here they go, standing on the edge of the third baseline while Oklahoma State have a retaliation.
Are they going to make a move?
No budging from the Cowboys. Cincinnati braving the wind that maybe is about 2 miles an hour and the rain that's barely coming down at this point. Here comes one Oklahoma State Cowboy. He takes a step to the first baseline, crossing his arms, asserting his dominance. Looks back to his teammates. He's asking for help.
He's retreating.
He's coming back. He can't believe it. He can't believe the lack of support from the Cowboys. What is happening? Cincinnati holding their ground. A big group of both players and managers out on the third base line.
Will they take any more steps, Ethan?
Oklahoma, I don't think so. I think Oklahoma State is set.
Are they scared?
I think so. I see a coach that's standing, maybe observing or monitoring the behaviors of the Oklahoma State. No, that's a pitcher. Just kidding. That's a pitcher standing in the dugout. And he's monitoring the situation for Oklahoma State. He wants to make sure that they're not going to get hurt or get into any danger. Cincinnati, they're living on the edge. They're living on the third baseline. They could take one step and then be in the infield. What is this?
This is what comes about when you join the Power Conference. Cincinnati has to take the risk. They're the newbies to the Big 12 still. Oklahoma State, they've been here for a little bit. They know what they're doing. Oklahoma State lives in Oklahoma too. They're not newbies to when it comes to some strange weather. You know, Cincinnati, they got to take the risk here. Oklahoma State, you know what they might be getting themselves into. You never know.
It's still a rain delay. It's still bottom of the third inning, by the way. We're still waiting this thing out. Still 0-0. However, Cincinnati putting on a show, if you want to call it that.
I would love to throw it to our weatherman, Chris Pagan, wherever he is. I don't know where he is right now, but if he could give us an update somehow. What's this storm brewing? You know, he knows he knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about.
I might text him. I might have to text him and be like, hey, what's going on? He said something really cryptic to me the other day. He said, we were talking about the weather, and we were actually scheming the possibility of coming up with a weather station for the University of Cincinnati. And we were talking about a possible formation that was coming up, and he just said Tuesday. Mark my words. And I said, what? Yeah, now they've rotated. Now they're facing and challenging Oklahoma State. What is this? Everybody has turned 45 degrees and is standing. And now Oklahoma State's turning around. They're scared. There's one guy on the end. He's not. Oh, now he's turning around. Is this Simon Says? What's happening? He didn't know. He had no idea.
No.
There's still the one pitcher. He has his arm on the ledge of the dugout and the wall, and now UC's waddling towards home plate.
It looks like Happy Feet.
It is Happy Feet. Or Surf's Up. I love both of those movies. Great movies. Oh, the manager, he won't step into the batter's box, though. Will he do it? Will he step across home plate? Will he score the first metaphorical run for Cincinnati tonight? Absolute pandemonium here at UC Baseball Stadium. So Oklahoma State, they have not advanced. They are still there. They are holding strong with their backs to Cincinnati. And now it's about 4, now 2. Now the rest of, the umpire broke it up. The umpire broke up the fun. Ridiculous. Malarkey. This is ridiculous. He's not having any fun. There's still one Bearcat lone on the third baseline, braving the elements and facing off against the big man himself. Now David Condon, he's waving him off. He's waving him back. Luis Perona was the lone man for Cincinnati. I believe the Bearcats win the standoff by technicality. Since Perona was the last one out there, Cincinnati wins. And now there's a DVD loading screen on the video board out in right field. What is happening?
Ethan.
I just felt like Kevin Harlan for about 5 minutes.
That might have been the most energetic, exciting thing that I've heard off of a face-off.
Thank you.
Inches and feet, and I don't even know how to explain what you just did.
I don't think I could ever do it again. That's kidding. I could definitely do that again.
Now, let's see. Do it with the DVD.
Oh! It's a DVD heading towards the left top corner, and it's going to bounce off. I don't know if I could do this the same way. I'm going to be completely honest.
It's okay.
I don't know. I do like the. I assume growing up you would watch the DVD player icon bounce around the screen until it hit the corner
Ethan,
perfectly?
I will tell you, I
Don't tell me.
only did that in elementary school when they
Okay.
would put it up on the big projector
Oh, okay.
for us. But I would never sit at home and like turn it on and do that.
Well, I didn't either. I would do it like if I was like watching a movie and I like then got bored and then I was just like, oh, it's let's go. Oh, here comes some Oklahoma State players. They're emerging from the dugout. Now they're walking towards.
the Bearcats.
Yeah, they're walking towards the Bearcat dugout. I'm not sure where they're going. They might be going somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where they're going. They're leaving. They're leaving the friendly confines of their away dugout.
What do you do in this situation as a player to stay warm?
Go into the clubhouse, probably. Let us see. Everybody just got very excited for some reason. I don't know why. I don't have eyes everywhere, unfortunately. I have to wonder what is happening on the ESPN side of things.
Do you think?
I know that both of us do
Yeah.
the ESPN Plus work for this University of Cincinnati. So is Aiden Riggs, who's also still standing here, who's documenting the whole showdown, the whole standoff, if you will. He
this
just
point-
unfortunately doesn't have a headset. We should have brought the full roadcaster so we could have that extra headset and we could actually talk to you without having to hand over our microphone. But we're still here, and this is there's only 2 ports on this thing.
Bearcat.
Oh, the Bearcat's on the field. Now he's standing way out, maybe, I don't know, 200-something feet.
I want to give a shout out to Owen Herman, the new photographer that's having to follow the Bearcat onto the field while it's pouring rain.
Oh, man.
See him in these red shorts, black shirt. He's having to follow the Bearcat all the way out there.
Oh.
Trooper taking over for the Bearcat.
Comes the Bearcat. Oh, I thought he was going to run out towards center field, but now he's running back off the field. He's going to exit at the right field gate and head back into the concourse. We've got a lot of people now back behind us. I really want to pull someone for an interview and just ask them about
Do you want to?
I think it'd be really funny. I don't know who would want to, though. That's the thing.
Let's send our social media manager, sports director, Aiden Riggs to find someone.
Yeah, we could send Aiden Riggs to go find somebody if he
Should
so
we do
desired.
a call in to Chris Pagan, our weatherman?
Yeah, where's Chris Pagan? Can we get a call in?
We also never found out where Chase Yance is.
I don't know. I mean, we'll call him. Maybe we should call Christian Yance.
Christian
Who's
Yance.
that? Who's that guy? Chase Yance. Christian Yance? Hello? Apologies. Aiden Riggs is saying ridiculous things to me. Oh, now the wind's blowing my souvenir cup away. Oh, goodness. We are...
There's a windstorm coming as well.
Man. Just can't have anything here today.
Ethan, you said it's going to rain soon.
I did.
Really?
I called it. I could be a meteorologist. Oh, and now he's closing his laptop. I'm going to close mine,
Yeah, I don't
actually.
want to get mine wet.
This laptop will be fine, I think. It's hefty. Works and things.
It's a great one. Maybe take away all the electrical stuff and move that away.
Do you have an extra piece of cloth that we could just throw over this?
No.
No?
What I've learned from my Pokemon days is
Pardon?
Pokemon.
How is Pokemon relevant to...
Water types are weak against electric.
That's just science. That's just science.
Think about it.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're figuring it out. Actually, I'll make this. I'll take this one step further.
Aiden Riggs building us a shield.
Now we'll
here.
open this. And sports director and also engineer.
You can do it all.
I think this might work. This might be all right. So
Ethan
I've
Herzog.
now covered up the electrical part of my setup here with the Pelican case. No, now this is a fun thing about Casey Stevens is that he could not say my last name correctly up until about last half inning. Because I had to write down the phonetic spelling.
Herzog.
Because it's said exactly how it's spelled.
But I put a T in there.
You did, which is not uncommon for people years ago when I played football. My nickname was Herzog. Herzog. And now the NFL draft is on the big board. The pick is in for the New Orleans Saints.
Is this going to be Shadur?
Round 2, pick number 40. I don't think it will be.
Let's hear it.
Oh, now
What's your prediction?
I don't know, but now I'm getting wet.
Will Johnson, out of Michigan, top player
You think so?
available. Shadur Sanders, big need for the Saints.
Man, the wind is picked up, and now it's blowing all the rain at us. That's not nice.
Aiden Riggs looks around as the pick is in for the Saints.
Now they're showing Green Bay fans on the big board. I'm not sure why. Contextually, it doesn't make any sense.
Draft is hosted in Wisconsin.
Well, yes. However, the Packers didn't pick a draft pick yet.
They did
Excuse
yesterday.
me. They're also playing the audio over the speakers at UC Baseball Stadium. So we're still waiting the result of the 40th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Aiden Riggs is trying to connect Bluetooth to...
Aiden Riggs may be joining us on the call. Saints selection is in. 2025 draft, pick 40 in the second round.
The 40th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select. I had to wait for the graphic to change. Tyler Stroh, quarterback out of Louisville. How about that, Aiden Riggs?
He goes before Shadur.
That's crazy. I don't know if it's that one. Is it this one?
It's still connected.
We are trying to add Aiden Riggs with this.
Aiden Riggs.
By means of Bluetooth.
Able to make the call, though.
He did make the call.
He did.
He did make the call that the Louisville kid was going to be drafted before Shadur Sanders, so that's impressive.
Now, this is my one confusion. What do all NFL teams think the issue is with Shadur then?
His ego, I think. I think that's the main problem.
I could see that.
Because that's the problem, is that you have that kind of issue where obviously you should think you're the best, but you shouldn't think that you're, that generational talent, like that massive thing. Because then, why are you taking a picture of me? What's happening right now? This is absolutely insane that's happening right now at
Watching
UC Baseball
Aiden
Stadium.
connect his AirPods.
This is probably the most fun I've had in a rain delay in a long time. I will just say.
We
haven't gone off air.
We don't need to.
This is effectively just a podcast at this point.
This is what we need. Where Aiden Riggs is trying to join the call. Ethan Herzog here. Casey Stevens. Looking for Aiden Riggs to possibly join. Let's see if he's on.
I'm not sure. I tried. I think I added it. I think he has to reconnect with his AirPods, maybe. There you go. Now it's going to connect.
I believe.
We're waiting to see.
Rain still coming down here.
Yeah, it's not very pleasant. Pretty much the entire grandstand has retreated to under the awning here at UC Baseball Stadium. A plethora of students, parents of players, and young ball clubs are now here, and camera operators for ESPN at UC are also hiding elsewhere. So we have not found a good way to bring Aiden Riggs in.
Yeah, he'll find a way.
He will find a way. That man has.
You hear it here first. Aiden Riggs
maybe
gives up.
You heard it here first, folks. Oh, now the Buffalo Bills are on the clock.
Not a Bills fan myself.
I love the Bills.
I'm a Chiefs fan by heart.
Which is disgusting, and
Always
I think you should
will
repent
be.
for your sins. 2:45 to go for the Bills to select the 41st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Obviously have Josh Allen, the 2024 NFL MVP.
Top 5 players still left. Will Johnson, Mike Green, Donovan Ezaruka, Darius Alexander.
Now here's a conversation I want to have, is where is Corey Kiner going? UC running back.
5th round running back to the Kansas City Chiefs. Pick got traded.
Hate that. Oh, so now the Bears are on the clock.
They had a great first day.
They sure did.
They
sure did. They had a very good day.
Couldn't remember who they drafted, but I remember they drafted
They
some good
did.
players.
I have a good friend, Santana Bernadelle. I hope he's doing well down in Coastal Carolina, where he is the broadcast director and producer and does all sorts of things with the Chanticleers. But he had a good day. He's a Bears fan. He's from Chicago. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks,
Colston
Sox.
Loveland was their first pick, the tight end. Out of
Yes.
Michigan. Yes. I think this is where they go running back.
The Bills also signed Joey Bosa. I didn't know that.
That happened.
It just flashed on the screen. I didn't know that had happened.
Joey Bussa, Bill. Is Von Miller still on the team?
I thought he retired.
I
thought he
sports
did.
change like that.
I mean, you know, they do that. They do that thing that is changing.
41st
As does
pick is in. Buffalo Bills pick is in for the 2025 NFL Draft.
I love that this turned into an NFL draft show. Very quickly.
This is great.
This is the most outlandish, ridiculous rain delay I think I've ever been a part of.
We got 15 more minutes of rain here, folks. Bottom of the third inning.
Buckle
here
in.
Cincinnati.
Kind of another pretzel.
At this point, you may as well. You could probably get 3 or 4 and be fine.
Probably. There's a kid over there with a Mountain Dew. I really want it.
Aiden Riggs. I heard Aiden Riggs was buying Skyline. For us.
Really? Really? Is that true? Mr. Aiden Riggs, can you confirm nor deny?
No.
Oh, damn. Was really hoping that I would get that. But the Skyline employees are also being drenched.
They're dancing.
They are dancing. They're having a good
Getting
time.
into it, yeah.
They're dancing and singing in the rain.
What is like your favorite move to like bust out anywhere?
The white dad nod.
Let's see it.
I don't dance.
Really?
I'm the one that plays the music.
What's like your like if you could do an emote from Fortnite, what would you do?
Oh, not the Fortnite. Oh, jeez. I would hit the Orange Justice. It's a classic. Saw Tommy O'Connor hit that when he hit a double late in the game, solidified the game for the Bearcats. Hit that straight on second base. It was absolutely hilarious, might I say.
What about the T-pose?
Oh, that was great.
Do it right now. T-pose for me.
There you go. Just hit it. Nobody else can see it, but Casey saw it, and so did the rest of the crowd here at UC Baseball Stadium, so everybody else is entertained. I like this guy with his National Public Radio hat down here. Shout out that guy. I don't know where he got it. I'm sure he probably worked for NPR, but, you know, I almost did. I applied.
Really?
I did.
My
Didn't hear back.
So my grandparents actually were interviewed for NPR for their library that
Really?
they have in Salem, Ohio.
Interesting.
It's a family-run library for the past few years as the Bills selection's actually in right now.
And with the 41st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select somebody after the pick was traded from the Chicago Bears. The pick is, drum roll please, drum sounds, TJ Sanders from South Carolina. How about that? Defensive tackle.
The
I don't hate it.
defensive line for the South Carolina team in general has very good edges, if I remember correctly.
And Aiden Riggs is laughing, and I think it's because there was a Sanders that wasn't Shadur drafted before Shadur. So Sanders just got pranked, might I say. I do, now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of want to go find like an Oklahoma State fan and interview them. I think that would be cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just spitballing here on
I
there.
say you do it. I'll rock.
I got to
paper,
find one first. I don't know where one is. Like, did you actually fly from Stillwater to Cincinnati to see this team, or do you, like, live here? You know? There aren't any Cincinnati
You
players.
can get the Travis Kelce lookalike.
I could get the Travis Kelce doppelganger. Sir, did you know you look like Travis Kelce? And it confused me for like 5 minutes.
I think Aiden Riggs can almost pull it off.
No way they're actually just showing Shador.
That's crazy, actually, as the Jets are on the clock, and the pick is in for the 42nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. And now there's a Back to the Future clip.
Actually, what is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie
of all time?
That's a terrible question because I don't know. Because there's a lot of great films out there.
You opened a rabbit hole here. I'm just like,
You did. You opened a rabbit hole. I can tell you my least favorite film, and it's Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm kidding. That's a whole rabbit hole, and that's an inside joke between me and Hayden. However, goodness. What's your favorite movie?
Top three, or are we going number
Let's
one?
go top three. Let's go
All
top
right.
three. It's an easier question to answer.
Number 3,
Okay.
Planes, Fire, and Rescue. Yep.
Okay.
Number 2,
Oh, no.
Blindside.
Okay.
Right.
Solid.
Number 3. Number 1,
Okay.
Inception.
Okay. It's a solid choice.
You've heard that, though.
Man.
I feel like you have heard that.
Man.
John Owen's class.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. My number 3, Scream, 1996, the
Never
original.
saw it.
The original. I'm a big horror movie guy. It's in my Twitter bio.
Okay.
I'm a horror movie buff, if you will. Scream, 1996 is number 3. Number 2, Cars, 2006. I'll entertain you. The original Cars movies, peak cinema.
I actually just rewatched those.
I should rewatch
Yeah,
those.
they
now that
were
talking.
really good. The second one was fantastic.
Second one was great.
Yeah.
I love the second one. I don't understand people that hate the second one because the real issue with the trilogy is the third one. I don't like the third one. I
Third
think
one
it
didn't make
didn't. It wasn't necessary. I think it was fine. I don't understand the hype. I think it was fine. It was a great ending to Lightning McQueen. You know what I mean? Like, wrapped up the trilogy, passed the torch, did the whole thing. It was fine. I just didn't care for it.
Yeah.
Number 1, Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith from 2005.
Fantastic movie.
It's easily the best film I have ever seen.
It also looks like the rain is going to continue here for the next 2 hours. Rain for the next hour.
Excuse me. Pardon?
Here in Cincinnati. My guess is this game may be delayed for the
This
rest
game
of the
may
night.
be canceled or delayed until tomorrow.
A doubleheader possibly for the Bearcats tomorrow.
Probably would restart bottom of the 3rd inning tomorrow if
With Jack Ritchie on
things
the call.
happen. Jack Ritchie will be on the call. Now, if you want to stay on the film discussion, how often do you? Took his headset off. How dare he? He's ignoring my question. How dare you?
No, keep
I'm
going.
interviewing you.
I was talking to Aiden Riggs. But yeah, keep going.
How often do you get to the theater? Can we talk about films, like
yeah.
current films that happen right now? Have you seen Sinners that just came out with Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld?
I saw the last time I went to the
Aiden's
theater.
nodding his head.
I saw that one movie with Theo James and the monkey.
Pardon? The monkey?
Like the monkey with the clapping.
Oh man, I know what you're talking. The horror movie.
Yes.
Yeah, the Stephen King
Yes.
King movie. Yes. Okay, I know what you're talking about. I didn't get to see that. I really wanted to.
It wasn't like for a horror movie. It wasn't scary. And I hate horror movies.
I love it.
But I went. I saw it. Did I enjoy it? It was all right. I could tell you what
It
happened.
looked funny to me.
Yeah.
Which is the problem with me is that I think horror movies are hilarious. Mostly. Some of them are actually terrifying. But like some of the ones that I watched, like Scream, I love it. Great horror film. It's a great commentary on horror films as a whole. However, I think it's hilarious because of how cheesy it is, which is supposed to be cheesy. And you look at the Scream franchise, same thing. But look at movies like Saw. You literally could have just done one Saw film and been done. I think that's effectively what the Saw franchise could have been. I'm trying to think of other ones. Classics, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger. Great ones. Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees, all classics. I recently watched, Sounds of the Lambs. Great movie.
Okay.
Absolutely loved it.
I wish I could really tell you like my thoughts on those.
But you're not a horror movie fan.
I am like deeply afraid of horror movies.
That is understandable, and I do not blame you for that.
I want your opinion though, because you're saying that you kind of know like the older and the newer. Would you say older films are more scarier than newer, or is it vice versa?
I think it just depends on how the film is made, because there are plenty of films that are older that are terrifying, and same can be said with films that are made now. Like with the emergence of technology and different styles and just genuine psychopaths that are making movies to be put in a... why are you pointing at Aiden Riggs?
I can't even hear you.
It's okay. But movies like Longlegs, terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Alien Romulus, very good movie, also terrifying. There's another one that I watched recently that I thought was actually genuinely scary. The newest Evil Dead movie was really, really good and actually kind of scared me.
Oh.
And also there was an A24 film by the name of Talk to Me that I left the theater shaking. I loved it, but I was like anxiety-induced for the rest of the day. My girlfriend looked at me and was like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not actually." I just transcended, which is what I think a movie should be. You know, it should be something that's like another world. That's, you are transported to this mythical realm that is a story that's not your own, and you get to experience. It's like the Minecraft movie. I'm so kidding. That movie is so bad, but it's so funny.
I have not seen it yet, but
it is so funny.
I have seen clips. I've seen like the whole shebang, right?
You know the memes.
Of course, right? Are you wanting me to say them or no?
No, I'm not.
Should I right now?
I mean, you could. There's a couple of kids
okay.
behind you that might like it.
No, I'm okay.
They look between the ages of about 6 and 10, so I think they'd be entertained.
Peanuts on our table.
They are getting peanuts on our table. It's not our table. It's Athletics' table, so it's okay. It's all right. They're not doing anything too terrible. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're just eating some peanuts. Marketed by the Reds, by the way. The 49ers have made their selection. Who are we picking here for the San Francisco 49ers? The 43rd pick in this year's draft. Let's see how this goes. The Bearcats and Cowboys have both emerged from their dugouts to watch as Alfred Collins gets drafted from Texas, defensive tackle. At least they're having some fun down there, just like we are.
It's a rainy day.
It is a rainy day.
I'm not the biggest fan of the rain. I'm not the biggest fan of mud.
See, I like rain when I'm inside.
It
and
makes
I'm
you
not
sleepy,
doing
though, right?
anything. Yeah, exactly, because I can go to sleep. I also just like the rain in general. Big rain guy. Big rain guy.
You a big rain guy?
At times. Aiden Riggs says he dabbles in the rain.
I dabble.
He may not be singing and dancing in the rain, but he may be dabbling. Sports in the rain is fun. Well, we're not getting one here, so it's kind of unfortunate. Not sure.
You were a catcher, right? Nope. First base? Outfield? Bench? Okay. Shortstop? Really? That's where the best fielder goes. Oh, okay. I dabbled in second base for a little bit, then got shoved to right field, then got shoved to bench.
I played T-ball when I was 6. That's my baseball experience.
Really?
Yes.
Did you hit the ball or the tee?
Hmm?
Did you hit the ball or the tee?
The tee.
Oh.
I hit the tee.
So you had like
baseball was not my thing, and I will say that when now they're showing Shedeur Sanders again. Jeez, they are really pumping out the Shedeur Sanders content today. This is ridiculous. Anyway, my
that they have Shedeur in an ad for the third day.
You think he'll be in the third day?
It will be the third.
Do we think Shedeur Sanders goes on the third day of the NFL draft?
Irrelevant?
Huh?
We're leaning that way right now.
You know what would be interesting?
Final pick?
Mr. Irrelevant, baby. That would be interesting.
I don't think he will, just because of his name. But
Maybe.
I do think the ego's there. The challenges are there. I think the constant clip that I've continued to see is Cam Ward commenting on his completion percentage and how it was just like bubble screens and kind of short passes.
He only really had those deep bombs to Travis Hunter, and you can only do that so often. And you don't even have Travis Hunter anymore.
What was that other guy named? Horn. I forget his first name, but Horn had a good game every so often. But Travis Hunter, great player. I think he's way too undersized in the sense of muscle to be.
I also think the fact that he doesn't want to be confined to one side of the ball is going to be a problem for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You have to be so athletic to do both sides.
You do, especially in the NFL, and I don't think he realizes that. Which, I don't know. I'm not sold. I am not sold on the Travis Hunter best player ever discourse. I'm not in on it. Kind of want to go upstairs and see if we have a time frame for when we're coming back, but I really just have no idea. We have no general updates for you.
The Pacers game just started against Milwaukee, Game 3. First round.
I hasn't been the biggest NBA guy, but now that I'm applying to the Spurs, I think I might be a Spurs fan just because. Just because of that.
Victor Wembanyama, a possible chance at Cooper Flagg.
True. Possible Cooper Flagg.
I would love to hear your take on Cooper Flagg.
I think he's solid. I think he's a solid 6. I think he could do it.
What
maybe a 7.
What do you mean by 6 or 7? Like rotation?
Yeah, like off the bench.
You don't think he's going to start?
In the NBA?
Yeah.
No.
Cooper Flagg not going to start in the NBA? The number 1 pick.
I don't think so. I think he might get there eventually. Like it won't take him long. But I think they might throw him. Oh, but here comes Aiden Riggs. Oh, no, they hate me. Oh, gosh.
Hold on, explain this.
Oh, jeez.
Explain this a little bit.
Like, I think they're not going to throw him into the starting 5 right away, is all I'm saying.
Why would they not throw the number 1 overall pick? Or name another number 1 overall pick that was not in the starting lineup in the first game of the season.
Plenty of them.
Which ones?
I don't know. Across all sports. If I tried, I could probably name you a few.
Well, in the NBA specifically, the number 1 overall pick usually is thrown directly.
Oh, see, this is my NFL brain. So maybe I should not be the best person to answer this question.
Yeah, it's a bold take, all I'm going to say.
I don't know, but, I think he'll still get ample playing time. It may take him I think it would take him 10 games, and then he's in the starting 5.
If he gets drafted to the Wizards, starting 5.
Okay, that's
fair. If he
fair.
gets drafted any team, he is starting. I will stand on that.
Okay, that's fine.
Unless.
Hey,
unless,
listen. Here's what I have to say. You can't have good sports television without somebody without a bad opinion. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm just feeding into the narrative. Oh, here's a Cowboy selection. Oh, boy.
Good pick.
Okay, solid. Boston College. All right.
One of the
pretty cool
players.
Here's our correspondent, Seth Cavalier. What's our approximate time to restart?
SID just said going to revisit at 8:20.
Going to revisit at 8:20. It is currently 8:05. We have 15 minutes, folks.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I was just.
Thank you, Seth. Appreciate it.
Yes.
This is. We have 15 minutes for another storm to come in is really what's happening. And then we're going to be done. And then I will be off air. And I'm going to go back and clip off that standoff call I had because that was really fun,
great.
actually. That was so fun. I enjoyed that a lot, actually.
It sounded great.
That was probably the best showing of my improv skills I think I've ever had.
I can't believe they made them go off the field there.
No, I know. I'm so mad. I called him a malarkey. I needed better adjectives. I ran out of adjectives. I need to grab my thesaurus.
If you look off into the distance, Ethan, I could see Paris, France, right in my general northern direction.
That's actually the Star Tower. I live about 2 minutes from that tower.
No.
My parents' house.
That is the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, jeez. Oh, you guys. Oh, you guys. You're so silly.
Do you not see it?
No, I do see it.
Have you ever been to France?
No, but I've been to Kings Island. I've been up the Eiffel Tower.
Last time I went to Kings Island, spent 6 hours there and only did 5 rides.
Yeah, it checks out.
Including bumper cars.
Oh, sweet. I love bumper cars.
Yes.
No, but actually, fun fact, that is actually why that tower looks like that. It's designed to look like the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact. Like in its design, that was what it was supposed to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Indianapolis Colts pick is in. 45th pick.
It'll probably take about 5 more minutes for them to actually announce it because TV. But, here we go.
Are we going to see another Shadur Sanders commercial?
Maybe.
What's the? Oh no! Here it comes.
Oh wow, that was quick.
Is that Anthony Richardson? I believe maybe delivering.
I thought that was Travis Hunter. But it's also on a screen very far away from me.
Yeah, that is.
And I can't really see it.
That is Jonathan Taylor. Never mind.
Nice. You were wrong. Good job.
You said Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
This is my hometown team.
I like the Colts. I think they're cool. I don't dislike them. I don't have anything against them.
Not hometown team. This is where they're going wide receiver.
Might be.
Actually, no, they have Josh Downs, Michael Pittman.
Alec Pierce. Can't forget about him.
Alec Pierce had a breakout season.
He did.
JT. That's actually a great pick.
No, yeah, that is. Wow. All right.
You don't like Ohio State either, and you're saying that's a good pick.
I can be unbiased. It's a good pick. It's a good pick. Respect to where respect's due. He's a good rusher.
He's a great player.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could have possibly been. I think this is actually a good spot for him, but I do think he could have been in that first late round.
Yeah, probably. I agree. But I think the Colts is also a good spot for him, too.
They just drafted the guy from UCLA last year. Latu.
Oh, yeah,
name. I
yeah,
forget
yeah.
his first
I
name,
know
but-
who you're talking about.
And
He's
they
got
have
the
Felipe.
real interesting name. Yeah.
Yes.
The name that I can't say without looking at a piece of paper that has a pronunciation on it because I don't know him.
Herzog.
You know. Oh, jeez. Actually, you know who I think the Travis Kelce lookalike is? Is a relative of Cincinnati catcher Corey Klingenbeck. I think. It looks like Corey Klingenbeck. I can see it in the face. Like if you stare at him for long enough.
I feel
you can-
awkward if I look over and stare at him.
Yeah.
I'll let you do it because his back's. Like,
It looks like him. Like I'm serious.
It does.
Like
Should we ask him for an interview?
I mean,
kinda
if you
to. I
want.
kind of want to, but I don't want to interrupt the conversation that he's
I
in
mean,
right now.
you can. I don't
I,
think it would
I
be-
think this is great. While we're on a rain delay, we're getting more views while we're talking. We were at 11, now we're. Like,
We also have no concurrent viewers, so that's a problem. The retention rate is terrible. We have been on air for an hour and a half and have maybe talked 30 minutes of baseball.
that is
maybe.
great. We had we had the standoff.
No, that's true. That's true. We did have the standoff.
We had the Aiden Riggs show.
For maybe like a minute while he was making
Yeah.
fun of me for my Cooper Flag.
What about
Take.
Dylan Harper? Ace Bailey. Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
The guy from Illinois.
Oh! Yeah. He's all right.
Cincinnati transfer portal. Your thoughts for the men's basketball
Jeez.
team?
Not great.
How do you think they are doing in rebuilding it?
Fine.
Terrible.
No, not terrible. I think we're doing fine.
I think I give them like a 4 out of 10. I think it's hard to replace Dylan Mitchell.
It's definitely hard to replace Dylan Mitchell, who's about to go win a ring with St. John's because, I mean, we saw how St. John's did last year. And I think they retained a good chunk of their guys. So there's the pick is in for the LA Rams. Fun fact.
This is where Jalen Milroe will go.
You think so?
I think Jalen Milroe, Orshiter, Will Howard, Riley Leonard.
One of those quarterbacks.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Man. This has been exhilarating, might I say, my friend.
You know, he has an impressively high snap score.
Who?
Jack Ritchie.
Oh, jeez. Who's he Snapchatting?
Everyone.
Everyone? 1.7 million? That's how big his snap score is? I don't even know how big mine is. Let's look, shall we? I'm sure it's not very impressive. 141,288. You know, had it for a couple of years. I made a new one. Back when you couldn't change your Snap name, I had to make a new one because I didn't like my name. So, and that was a while ago. So
We said 8:20.
we would say 8:20. We've got about 9 more minutes of us just yapping utter nonsense because I really just don't want to go to complete dead air.
I agree with you. I don't think it's the best to go to dead air.
I mean, we don't have ads.
We don't have ads.
What? No, do not press the buttons. Do not press the buttons.
Do I have permission to press a button?
Oh God. Oh no.
Hello. Wait.
I don't think it did anything actually. Oh jeez. Oh no. Oh jeez. Guys. Oh jeez. Oh God. Oh the broadcast is off the rails. Oh jeez. Come on now. Oh no. All right, well, I guess one in Rome. This is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, here's some music. It's a solid music bed. I'm gonna be honest. It's a nice form.
Ready?
It's groovy.
Hey.
Look at the bass. Good bass. Yeah. I feel it. Feel it in my bones. Anyway.
Oh, I was vibing to that.
I mean, I was too, but you know.
Rain constantly.
There's a couple of Oklahoma State fans over there, actually. I just
Oh.
noticed. Yeah, they're all hiding over there.
Go ask one.
You should go.
I think Aiden Rick should. He doesn't have a headset.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point. No, we're
We
joking
wanna
about
go interview, Oklahoma State fan.
yeah, interviewing an Oklahoma State fan. I don't know, content, you know.
Yeah.
A lot earlier.
Huh?
Yeah.
Actually, did have a decent amount earlier.
Yeah. and then it rained.
All day.
The sky is dark. It's a little gloomy. The lights are in full force now.
I actually love when the lights are on and you can like see individual raindrops.
Yeah, it makes for a great camera shot.
It actually does, yeah.
Here's the Rams pick, the 46th pick. Can't read it. Yeah, check my prescription. You're getting excited. Who's reading this? Oh.
Aiden Riggs is getting me hyped for this pick.
Do we think it's going to be Shadur?
It's going to be Jalen Milroe. I think he's a better quarterback than Shadur.
I also agree. However, you never know. Let's stick on this box.
Here it is.
Oh, all right. Darius Ferguson from Oregon.
I think
tight end.
There's been more tight ends than there have been quarterbacks.
I think that's just because a lot of teams are set with their quarterbacks. To be honest.
Which is hard to believe too.
Well, you think about it. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
That's 4. There's 32 teams.
I have to think.
Some on the edge. I don't know if Michael Penix will turn.
Aaron Rodgers. I'm kidding. He doesn't even play for a team right now.
Yeah. I think the Falcons could be in need next year.
Falcons could be in need next year. I agree.
Rams.
But I think for like right now, teams have their guy that they can go with this year. Like if they don't like any of the quarterbacks that are available, they can be like, fine, whatever. We'll draft one later just to have a backup guy, and then if he turns out, he turns out. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. Yeah. Instead of wasting a top pick on a quarterback that they don't know. You know what I mean? Like they have the chance to do it, but they don't have to. And then they can go next year and tank their season if they so desire.
For Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Cardinals pick is in.
Oh, man, that was quick.
47th pick here in the second round. The lights at Dabney shut off.
Uh-oh.
Right by. Actually, I believe the Eiffel Tower went off.
Well, the Eiffel Tower over yonder just has the airplane red
Dot
bulbs.
Thing?
I don't
yeah.
remember what those are actually called.
Lights.
Is the power out at Dabney? Is that what happened?
No, there's lights on.
Oh. I just can't see them.
I'm pick here. 47th pick here for the Arizona Cardinals. Patrick Peterson delivering the news. 6-time Pro Bowler.
Great guy.
47th pick.
Oh, he wants Shadur down there.
Will
Johnson.
Great
from
pick.
Michigan. That's a good one. I kind of wish the Bengals had picked him up, but
Injury prone,
yes, but still a good cornerback if you stay healthy.
ACL tear coming off of that.
I can feel my ACL tearing right now.
Why?
Way out of shape. I just don't stretch.
Stretch?
No, I don't stretch very often. I probably should.
I heard you scored 100 points in a basketball game.
Pardon? When was this? Enlighten me.
How many points did he have in the game?
What game?
Did he play in the basketball game or no?
No, I did not play in the Bearcast TNR basketball extravaganza. I didn't. I think I was working that day.
Disappointing. I didn't play either.
Okay.
Chris asked me the same thing, and I thought it was Tuesday, and not Monday.
If it was Tuesday, I would have done it.
Yeah.
But I had a work meeting on Monday night, and I got paid 2 hours to sit around and do nothing. So
I will say, was that probably the worst time you could have had it?
I will say that too.
You had to absolutely battle for it.
Yeah.
Why don't we do it like
You got to pick a different day.
on a weekend?
Different day with a different time.
Like a Saturday.
Yeah, that could work.
I feel like a Saturday could
There's
work.
Marty Brenneman. He's walking away. I think he's
done for the night.
He's out.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to wait anymore. We have about 3 minutes until the next discussion. Say it again. Bengals on deck. The Texans pick is in.
Did they trade down?
The Bengals traded down.
Did they? Or the Texans trade down?
Oh, Aiden Riggs giving us false information.
I don't know.
I can't hear him actually.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think obviously, who knows?
I don't like that guy. He's all right.
Who? Adam Schefter?
He's all right.
I think he gives great news.
I think he is over assumptuous about the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the media needs to back off the Bengals. There's no need to be hateful.
His Twitter posts are the best. They come in at great times.
That's true. No, the Texans did trade up. They traded with the Raiders and got a second and a third round pick.
I think that's too much.
Think so?
To move up 5 spots.
I don't know, man. It's the Texans organization we're talking about.
What did
Oh,
they
and we're
need?
going to a break. Man.
He's going to get drafted during a sunglasses.
He might. It's crazy. Crazy times we live in.
It's like Jokic getting drafted in a Taco Bell.
Did he really? No. I actually, wait, yes. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, did you not see that till now?
I did not see that until now. Shout out Mike Baker. What's up, man? I need to get into my Twitch streaming narrative now, I guess.
Non-stop rain.
Yeah, nonstop rain.
Non-stop rain.
It's not coming down too ferociously at this point.
I love that word.
Ferociously?
Ferociously.
Hey, man, that's the whole thing about being a broadcaster. Is you have to find the adjectives to use in the best ways possible. It's like half the job.
It is.
Talking
and
creative.
sometimes it's hard.
Creative talker should be my actual job title.
Commentating the soccer match going on there.
I can't see
Oh,
it
I got
all
it.
the way, though. Can you see it over there?
No.
Okay, cool.
Through the
here goes Jordan
bushes
Bishel
and
and
trees.
Coach Holiday for Oklahoma State. They're heading into the review room, the umpiring room.
They said 8:20.
They're having the discussion right now.
Yeah.
They're heading over. We'll see what the verdict is, if we continue on tonight or if we move up to tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not sure. So we await the return of the head coaches and home plate umpire. We have been in a rain delay for probably the better part of an hour-ish. It's still tied 0-0. No. We're clapping. Oh, we are not clapping. I am being pranked. That's great. I'm really glad that just happened. That was awful. I really thought that was outside the parameters of my headset. Now, it is still tied 0-0. Oh, man. We have gone off the deep end, ladies and gentlemen. We have gone off the deep end. It's tied 0-0, bottom of the third inning. One hit apiece for both these teams. Thank you for giving that to me after I said to say. Oh my gosh, what in the world? Jeez.
And Aiden Riggs.
Oh man.
Sabotage.
Aiden Riggs, the producer of the show now, I'm going to dub. Oh no, what are you doing? What buttons are you going to press?
Nothing this time.
Okay, good.
Now that you caught me.
Yeah, now that I caught you. Is this an F1 ad? Oh. I heard that. Jeez. Oh, my gosh. This guy.
That might be
What a joker.
my favorite one.
What a joker. Shout out the guy in the Detroit Tigers poncho that's down there. And also the Oklahoma State fan that is down there as well. Made the trip. I assume made the trip. Probably family, if I had to guess. We're back to the NFL draft. The Texans have made a pick. They had to wait for the break to be over. Here we are.
We are still here in the bottom of the third inning, too.
We are. We have plenty of ball game left.
A 9-inning game. Mike calling the troops with Aiden Riggs. He might be taking both of our spots. Finishing the game tonight.
He can at least take my spot if I have to leave.
I'm a busy guy.
I just have work at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. I gotta wake up at 4.
Shooter.
Do we think Shadur Sanders is going to be the pick?
To take
Why would
CJ
he go to the Texans then?
C.J. Stroud is washed.
C.J. Stroud's number 2 guy. Okay, solid. I don't hate the pick.
Aaron
Protect
Todd
C.J. Stroud, you know?
Irsay. 6'6", 331 tackle.
Find a way to protect your franchise quarterback.
8:23 is the time. Told
Still
at
having a
8:20.
lengthy discussion, I would have to assume.
I would assume that they may call it off just due to rain continuing to pour down.
That and the fact that it's slowly getting later and later.
We are coming into what seems to be more of a strong storm coming from the west coast, west side.
Good job. Glad you know your cardinal directions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Going over Florence, Cincinnati, Alexandria, and also hitting Williamston.
I don't even know how I would do weather radio. That's a whole different ball game, whole different ballpark.
Well, I think as a weatherman, you can be 100% wrong and still be right.
All right, the coaches have emerged,
Jordan
and it looks
Mitchell.
like we're done. I believe. Jordan Bishel waved his guys back, I believe, into the dugout. The Bengals pick is in. That was quick.
Yeah, looks like the bases are getting
It
pulled.
looks like we are good. We are going to sign off. The managers have gone out and collected first, second, and third base. We are waiting the announcement from the public address announcer. The game has concluded, but not before the Cincinnati Bengals make their pick. I don't know who this guy is. Oh, there's Bengals captain.
Is that Jack Ritchie?
Okay. I don't hate it.
Demetrius Knight Jr.
I don't
linebacker,
necessarily hate it. Demetrius Knight Jr.
South Carolina, known as a leader, attacks blockers and inconsistent coverage.
Good reading.
6'1", 239.
Okay, well, here's another thing is that, oh no, they're collecting the scouting cameras. I believe we're done. Well, that does it for us here at UC Baseball Stadium through 2.5 innings. It is tied 0-0, and I assume that it'll either be canceled and considered a no contest, or the game will continue tomorrow before more rain possibly happens. But for now, it's Cincinnati 0, Oklahoma State 0. Alongside Casey Stevens and Ethan Herzog saying so long from UC Baseball Stadium. Thank you so much for tolerating us as we bantered and went along through this rain delay. One final time, 0-0 between Cincinnati and Oklahoma State. We'll see you guys tomorrow.